Hi, do you want to be a master at smart home design? Then here's the key. Stop asking technological questions and start to ask psychological ones. Let me give you an example. Think about a train station. When a train is late, the technological question would be, how can we make the train faster? Do we improve the tracks or do we redesign the engine? But the psychological question is, how can we make people more accepting of the fact that the train is late? A simple solution would be adding a display that says, train will arrive in 5 minutes. That's it. It's the uncertainty that makes people frustrated. When they know when the train is arriving, then they are fine waiting those extra minutes. But when there's no info, that's when the frustration kicks in. So what does this have to do with smart homes? Well, most smart home designers tends to focus on technological driven questions. For example, take lighting. When you ask what is good lighting, the usual answer is you need X amount of lux, no glare, no flicker, and you need to be able to dim down to 1%. But this leads to solutions like which type of dimmer, DALI or whatever, and applications like constant light control. Essentially, people treat lighting like a volume knob. But here's the thing, the eye is a sense, just like your ears. You feel light, and the way we react to light is the same as how we react to music. But you never hear someone say, give me 95 decibel of music, or I want 85 decibel to set the mood. That would be crazy, but we do that with light, without thinking about it. It doesn't work with music and it doesn't work with light either. To change the mood with music, you don't just turn up and down the volume, you change the rhythm or swap instruments, maybe from a saxophone to a violin. If you want to change the mood in a room, you have to do the same with lighting. And here's how you do it. Divide lighting into categories. Ambient light is like a cloudy day, enough to see but boring. Spotlights focus attention and creates an intense, harsh atmosphere, like a campfire. It squeezes everything together. Then there's glitter. Glitter is a warm, luxury, welcoming feeling, like the sparkling light on a sunny lake, a sunny day. Try to go back on a cloudy day. It's not the same. You can also add the color temperature, which controls your biorhythm, helping you feel either awake or relaxed. By dividing light into these categories, you get 4 distinct variables, each controlling a specific feeling, which is a completely different approach compared to just using dimmer as a volume button. And it all starts with asking a psychological question, not just a technical one. When you do this, you end up with a completely different outcome. Imagine explaining a smart home to a customer and you would say, you can dim your light with your phone, or instead of dimming lights, I design different feelings in the room with a touch of a button. Once someone understands the value of controlling emotions through light, then you can say, and you need a smart home to do this. Now, of course, you eventually need to ask practical questions like, how can I control it? Well, obviously, you can't have 10 switches in every room, so you need to have scenes, a lot of scenes. And this is where it gets frustrating for me. Manufacturers don't ask these type of questions. So we end up with applications that focus on volume control and poorly implemented scenes, especially in visualizations. I think that's why we don't see presence sensors in every room in the house. The tech is there, but we don't have applications for it. When we start asking psychological questions, we begin to notice details that are easily overlooked, like how people understand and interact with controls. Take push buttons, for example. In a very simple home, unlabeled buttons might be acceptable. But imagine getting into a car with no icons or text at all. Even something as basic as turning on the radio suddenly becomes frustrating. That frustration comes from lack of information. And the same principle applies to documentation. How often is the functionality explained in a clear and easy manual? Don't underestimate the importance of clear information. Just like in the train station example, clear documentation and guidance reduce frictions and frustrations. Without it, people eventually hit a wall. Not because the system is bad, but because customers don't understand it. And that's when we start to hear reactions like, KNX is too expensive, because the value was never made clear. The same goes to keep it simple. But keeping it simple doesn't mean making it shallow. It means making it understandable. If simplicity is fewer functions, it also means less value. But we need more value. So instead, try to add documentation when the application becomes more sophisticated. So next time you start a project, don't start with the technology. Ask how the people living there should feel. If you get that question right, the rest becomes easy. If you want to know more and keep these discussions going, then go to forum.voiceofknx.com and start a discussion there.